On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, the great bamboozling. It happened. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying Ordeal Call. Ah, man, I can't really put the vowel sound of summer with Ordeal Call in front. We'll have to go with Ordeal Call. Anyway, hi, I'm one of your hosts. I am Omega, and apparently people are very concerned about my eyeball health. With me, as always, he's hot to trot. It's Lucky.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka a summer you'll never forget. And while we here at Studio Mag would like to bring you the latest FGO Liberty news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for the JP&E version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should beware the moon. It's haunted.
Can't sleep, moon's haunted. Had a very good chuckle when that happened. Yes, Ordeal Call. Patrons at home saying, you got some summer in my main story, you got some main story in my summer, etc. Speaking of which, before I forget and get too far down the line, I will make sure to project. Well, you know, Deimos and Phobos are named after Fear and Terror. Anyway, I will make sure to project and mention our lovely patrons who make this possible. This episode is brought to you by our patrons like Adam DeHarp, Blacksto G, Call Me Zed, Carlos, Dragon, JW9000, Justify, Kaiser, Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, Trevor, some guy named Bob, and Varian the Crow. I feel like we do, I want to see us do more. I think I just said do like 3 times in a row there. Anyway, support us on Patreon. It's really cool. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I still do that with my eyes partially closed. You gotta be careful about rubbing your eyes. It can stimulate the itch, but also it feels really good. Okay, I will close that up because we're here to talk about FGO and stuff. I also want to say on the spoiler point, I would like to reiterate it because there are technically some things which may or may not be considered spoilers and or allow you to come to your own conclusions when we talk about things later, because the new summer event, well, actually, I shouldn't scare quotes too hard. The front half is actually summer. It appears that line goes both ways. They said you were going to have to do Ordeal Call prologue to get here. Fun fact, you don't actually have to. The summer part is Fuyuki clear. Spoilers for later in the show. But yes, there is some interesting discussion there. So no, it is technically there's a normal summer here. There's a points ladder and everything. It's just there's going to be something else later. And also the back half will last a while. I think they said the campaign goes until like the 2nd of October. So like some parts of this are very open-ended. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a sec. Since we did the intros and we did the patron read, let's check out everybody's favorite Kohai Mesh.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Because it is time for Break the Fuck Up Senpai, a regular segment for pro tips. And I'm pretty sure I can safely say fuck, because we're like 3.5 minutes in. Anyway, speaking of clearances that require certain amounts of story to be done, this was noted in the Road to 7 Lost Belt 4 campaign like release and stuff they're talking about, but I will highlight it loud and proud here a little bit. Our next Guda Guda event coming up in the not-too-distant future will require LB4 cleared, so if you are a newer player catching up, or also knowing our audience, if you have an alt who wants to partake, be ready to take advantage of campaigns to catch up. Just a heads up. Don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to work on that. But, I mean, I can say if you're terrible at getting through story, but also it is like, you know, we're on LB 6.5. I would hope that you're caught up with some previous LBs. 4 is pretty gone there. Yeah, the Fairy Cup will require LB 6 clear. That I can see actually taking a while, because, you know, we like Trom. Trom is kind of optional-ish. They treat it very similar to the way EOR and Heian Kyo are treated later. You know, don't count for certain half APs and stuff like that. LB6 is chunky. So is LB5. That's like 2 parts. But you'll have plenty of time to catch up because they're going to make it fairly easy. We'll talk more about that later. First, Records from the Throne, a regular achievement topic. Pretty simple stuff. It was heckin' double EXP for Fate Stay Night Servants. So guess what? I got my Vanilla Saber, and she is now Smile Protect, you know, max level and stuff. Did her rank ups because, again, double XP. God, I have so much XP.
So much XP. For me, I have no smooth spell protected, but I do want to mention that out of the picks, I did pick up Medea, which might be a little weird, but like I already have everyone pretty much at NP5, except maybe Herc. I didn't check. And if I was going to pick a CE of someone I liked, I decided to go with someone that I did like, which is Medea, so I went there. I like her vibes the best.
Yep. If you got everybody, it is kind of, you know, which CE are you vibing with?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, see, the thing is, somebody in chat saying it took, you know, me over 5 years at NP5 to do this. See, the thing is, I had to go out of my way to get NP1. I'm, 7 years into this game and didn't have NP 1 Artoria, and I needed something to do with all my fucking EXPs, because I'm like literally out of people to level. I have like a couple of bronzes who are at like, 52 out of 55 or like 58 out of 60, somewhere from just odds and ends. And I think even we've reached such a desperate state that even Columbus is max ascension now. So yeah, I gotta put him somewhere. But yes, it means we can move on to, did you finish your master missions? They're very simple because we're in, kind of a leveling dailies kind of a thing right now. First, defeat 5 then 10 servants. Defeat 15 each of Saber/Caster, Lancer Rider Berserker, or Archer Assassin enemies. It's any enemies. And I believe that enemies excludes servants and certain story bosses as usual. And the last one is defeat 15 Heaven attribute enemies. All pretty normal stuff. Please do your dailies. Your Dibba dailies. Your Doug Dimma dailies.
Please do.
Alright, I'll hold back. The kids aren't ready for it. Actually, kids these days might not be ready for me to bust out the Doug Dimmadome jokes. They might not even know who that guy is. Has he come back in the Fairly Odd Parents sequel yet? He'd have to be pretty ancient. Maybe it'll be his long-lost son now. Anyway, we're going to move on to Skeletograms before I get down some kind of Doug Dimmadome lore hole. JP, because this happened first. BB presents star Celeb Summer Experience! ! Dubai's counterattack. This makes me think that Dubai is going to throw a space colony at me. Starting the 14th, and at the very least, this part of it, the Dubai counterattack part, is going through the 2nd of October. God, I shouldn't be surprised at the breadth of Robin's emote collection. Anyway, now that I've set Patreon chat on fire, let's talk about it. So, hey, guess what? Summer is indeed 2 parts. Nasu did say in some interviews it was kind of sort of 2 parts, because secretly, Summer is going to lead into Ordeal Call 3, which is the MOONCANCER one. Or maybe Ordeal Call 4. I don't actually know how the numbers work anymore. To do the summer part, you only need to clear Fuyuki. Summon banner number 1 is, funnily enough, MOONCANCER, Mysterious Executioner Seal, Lancer Summer Nikic did call that, and Avenger Jufu. They decided not to go with just, normal caster. I guess she's an Avenger because she has a chainsaw. We now are, it's if I had a nickel for every time there was a summer servant with a chainsaw, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's funny it's happened twice kind of thing. The second summon banner is, of course, dudes. Since Bart is a bronze, they do not, try and do any weirdness with putting him in the actual premium summon banner. It's Karna and Percival. As evidenced by the stream and the CMs, the other 3 servants are probably BB Dubai, Summer Talalak, and Summer Mysterious Heroine X Alter, Tan version. This does mean that once again, another year, no Lancer Alter Summer. But we got a second alt for MHXA, and she's tan. That's cool. She has laser size, it looks like. Oh yeah, a lot of people call it Talak. That I think is pretty fair. By the way, apparently Talak is also a MOONCANCER. MHXA Summer is a foreigner. She's just, whatchamacallit, like double X, but altered. In my notes, yeah. I do have BB Dubai in scare quotes, because with BB and with, not everybody's read the CCC manga, I'll just say, a character who resembles Murian in the CM. There's probably some sort of shenaniganery going on here, and I'm not sure it's just limited to this second banner. I have something to comment about some of the units we've already gotten released. But also, we've got an Ordeal Call coming, like an actual Ordeal Call chapter, which I assume is going to be either a story or a main interlude. I believe you said it best earlier, Lucky, calling it Seraph 2.
Yes.
Which, yes, it very much feels like that. But if this is actually going to go on until, like, all through October, and there are people who are saying that, like, yeah, technically the releases will happen in October. Like I said, I don't think that FGO will be doing nothing for 3 whole months, so it may just be that the campaigns for Ordeal Call, the 3rd chapter, will go through October, or there is actually a 3-part story. I don't know. It's a little odd, but there is stuff going on. Unfortunately, there's definitely some, because I believe that they showed the normal BB MOONCANCER card art for, Talak and BB Dubai, so, like, I think there's some spook potential there. Actually, don't check with me, chat. I didn't see anything about it, so I'm not sure. Does Mysterious Seal have a special animation, or does she also get a normal Mooncancer card? Okay, yeah. So no more repeats of the Summer Kiara situation, or Ark's super big fancy switch up. Okay, good to know. Definitely some spook potential there, I guess. But yeah, this is going to be an Ordeal Call, so like even beyond the fact that they announced 2 rows of new summer servants, there's probably yet another banner of brand new story characters as well, and I do not know if they will be swimsuits. Things are weird.
Things are weird.
Like servant design wise, Nikichi and Shufu are like perfectly normal, reasonable like summer units. Seal's only got a swimsuit on in one of her ascensions, and her kit hits like she's an anniversary servant. So like I know nothing, basically. I don't actually know where we're going with this. But yeah, we've all been bamboozled. It's quite interesting to see. I think I mentioned this before, since I did talk about the second banner. When I woke up and first saw the CMs, I was a little like, are we doing a second Summer BB? That feels a little disappointing that we didn't, scratch off any of the long line of servants who don't have any summer alts yet. But, actually watching the CMs and realizing that it was a story lead-in, I'm like, okay, so this is clearly a story lead-in thing. And I think they're implying that BB Dubai will be limited like everybody else in the summer banner as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. Yeah, just get normal Mooncancer releases. We'll see. Also, for everybody being positive, sneakily, regular 4-star Passion Lip was added to the bonus servant list. I think she is literally the only one they've snuck in there. It's all still just Summers and new servants and then Passion Lip. So, we're keeping the dream alive.
That we are.
And I believe it was said on the stream that there's gonna be a welfare. I'm pretty sure that was announced, but they're not one of the ones you get to actually, like, obtain early, so we don't know who they are yet exactly. I'm pretty sure that's the angle we're at. Yeah, you gotta, okay, yeah, they've fully announced you gotta complete the event to get the 4-star, and they are, for now, a secret. So, like, again, I have ideas. I think we may even have some mailbag questions about that, but it's still open-ended. I assume you'll get your you'll get your normal copy at the clearing the time gates and stuff, because I do believe this is the normal time gates. Also, just to let you all know, we got a truly cultured CE by the great Shaka P, artist of Miss Crane and CE, such as Chaldea Lifesavers, Ice Warrior, Hide Hunter, Heavenly Demon Princess, etc. It has Summer Ibuki on it.
It is great.
And it is the CE in the point ladder, so you will get some copies. And obviously on stream they clarified Ordeal Call 4, or the Ordeal Call that is the 4th in release. Again, I don't know if we're actually we're sticking to a strict numbering scheme. Will be released in 2025. So this does kind of explain something I think we talked about and actually noticed at anniversary time, which is they said the next Ordeal Call would be 2025, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, saying next year, if that'll actually be proper next year, or they'll mean it to be at the end of the year, because usually we got enough time for one more story event. Well, but we also are going to ratchet back to the EN, because we got a couple of things. We got our next big thing since our million downloads is winding down. Hope everybody got all their rewards. First, Road to 7, Lost Belt number 4. Starts the 18th, goes on until the 25th. There'll be a little memorial streameth. You've got quarter AP through LB4, and I think this quarter AP is going to last until the 22nd of September, if I'm reading all this right. We got brand new interludes for Arjuna Alter and Jinako, and obviously, as with all the other Road to 7 campaigns, everybody in the LB4 crew will have their interludes accessible to everybody temporarily, even if you haven't summoned those servants. Or, I assume since they are counted that way, if you don't have them at the right, bond levels and stuff. We're going to have some LB4 recollection quests. Get ready to see how terrible these are. Yes, one of the, I assume that's the extreme version, is Arjuna Alter with 3 million HP. That doesn't sound fun. But speaking of the LB4 gang, also, everybody in that group is going to get plus 30% bond, half AP on interludes and rank ups, double FP and double EXP for the Road to 7 duration. And to be perfectly clear on everybody who's in there, that is Lakshmi Bai, Rama, Ashwathaman, William Tell, Karna, Neja, Asclepius, Arjuna Alter, and Jinako. We also got rank ups. Lakshmi Bai's Guts is upgraded, now gives her a quick up and NP gain up for 3 turns. Nej's third skill is upgraded, now gives her attack and defense up versus demonic enemies for 3 turns, and also generates 5 to 15 stars. So, should be pretty useful for stuff. You're going to have 3 summon banners. You're going to have your choice of Arjuna, Altar, Karna, and Jinako banners, plus all the LB4 SRs. All of them. So I hope you're not trying to roll a specific SR, because there's going to be like 4 on read-up. And also, to kind of go hand in hand with this, we have the Singularity Repair Support Campaign, Part 4, starting the 18th also, going until the 1st of September. This actually did confuse me a little. I had to double-check. The news page for this on the FGO website also lists the quarter AP for this as well, with the duration. I think they're both the same duration, so I guess they just, double-posted it. But yes, technically, part of this campaign is also the quarter AP. But also, Leyline Stones are back, if you are catching up on story. You can log in for some Leyline Stones and some EXPs and some QPs. Rider quests are open every day, so your Rider Mats farming is going to be open all the time. And there are some limited-time master missions for some EXPs, some St. Quartzes, and some more teapots. They are mostly Rider-themed. I'm not actually sure why for, this chunk of time it's all about Riders. I guess we're just at the phase where that's the 4th class. Yeah. We have a little bit of Misc news as well. First of all, FGO OST number 5 is on YouTube Music now. It's all uploaded. You can now cause emotional damage on demand. Because in case you guys don't remember, OST number 5 is just the span of time of Heian-Kyo through LB6, with appropriate events in between. Because LB6 has a lot of music.
They do.
And it's really good. Also, I appreciate that, I don't know who handled this, but somebody was very smart. The official English name for the, very last track of Lost Belt 6 is written O.Vortigern. Thank you for whoever did that. FGO content creators could learn a few things from that one. And one last bit
clever.
of... Good?
Oh, no, sorry, I was just saying, that is a bit clever.
Yeah, I didn't catch it at first, but when I was looking at the track list, I was like, oh, that's very neat. That's good. Because I know what this is, but you never know, man. It's YouTube. And through YouTube Music, you might just, start on OST number 1, and YouTube might be like, hey, you want to go listen to the 5th one? But our other bit of Misc news is that we've got some official updates on Strange Fake anime. Strange Fake news will be incoming at Aniplex Online Fest, which is September 16th. So exactly a month from now, as of the time of recording this. Which is good, because it has been radio silent for a while. I know that they had to delay the pilot, I guess, the TV special for a little bit. So it has been kind of radio silence for a while, but we're going to catch up.
Yay! I am excited for that.
Yep.
Gotta wait a month, though. So, with all that, I believe that's I believe that is all of the news out of the way?
Yes.
Excellent. Then it is time for this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say, and comment accordingly. This week we have, let me hit this refresh button one last time, 7 lovely submissions, and we'll get through them all, starting right meow. And our first one comes from Monster Grill Aficionado, saying, Dear Lucky Omega, no question this week, just sending good vibes and wishing you well. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much. The same to you. I hope your week has been going good and will be good in the future. Future good. Also, wah. I forgot to do that.
It has been a little bit since, perfectly good vibes. We had a very busy mailbag last week.
Yeah. This next one comes from a master pampering passion lab while commissioning Miss Crane to make her a swimsuit. Hey, Lucky Omega, rejoice! This is the year where more memes die. Given the uproar about new append skills, what change would you implement to fix it? For me, I think having having a way to turn serving coins into a generic pool of coins would help tremendously, as it still encourages people to pool, but doesn't punish them for not maxing out their favorite characters. Anyway, sending you the good vibes. Wah. And let's ready our best rulers to punish this gremlin calling herself B. Oh my god.
I'm just gonna say, at this point, I'm going to personally be very funny if somehow it's the reverse double cross and there's nothing going on here. They just gave BB an extra alt, and you've all just been assuming things. I'm not sure that's what's happening, but I would find it very funny.
I mean, I would find it, but no, I do think people are correct. I just think people are putting way too much stock in what they know and what could not be. That's the problem. Like, when we got characters like Melt and Passion Lip, that was post-character development for both of them.
Yes, this I would say is that, especially when we're talking about catching up on Sakura 5 characters, because I don't think we've seen any hints towards Violet just yet. I haven't scrubbed every fucking frame of the CM, but
No.
Violet's been data mined for a long time. Kazura Drop's been data mined for a long time. We've been expecting the other 2 Sakura 5 members to come in. Much like King Protea, they didn't really get to exist in their original game, and obviously, the CCC manga does do a lot to try and recapture what the game wanted to do with them, but that is still, like, only one interpretation of the continuity. This is a conversation I've seen people talking a lot about, since the original Fate Stay Night is out now. Like, people have been playing through the routes and being like, oh, this is just, like, it's not just that I'm making different choices by clicking different dialogue boxes. Things are just different in different routes. And people are going, yeah, Natsuverse has always been kind of a multiverse thing. Like,
Yeah.
there is no guarantee things will play out exactly like characters from there.
And that's why I say people do not know. Yes, there is a very good chance that this turn might turn out about the character, but you do not actually know what their character is going to be.
Also, be very funny. What if it could? Hey, we could actually get Murian.
We could.
That would also be funny.
But, like, again, I cannot stand people who just be like, oh, I fucking know, when they do not.
Yeah, I think I know. But I don't
you think you know, you do not know.
Because
you could be right, but you could also be wrong.
Oh god, this is the thing I like to say about FGO specifically. I think it's true about Type Moon's writing in general, but this is the thing I like to say about FGO. I don't know nothing. Like, usually I'm pretty good at picking up what writers are putting down. This has been a very strong through line of me playing through all of Final Fantasy XIV, right? Usually I'm pretty quick on the draw. FGO is so out of left field, especially when Nasu himself is personally involved, because I swear to God, Nasu has a complexity addiction. And, I said this myself, to be fair, like, on the one hand, I want to be like, guys, we can't just write a normal summer, but also, no. God, if I also understand, man, if I had to write 9 summer events for 9 years, I'd want to mix it up a little too, So, like,
yeah.
Sometimes I think Nasu just likes to change shit up for the sake of changing shit, or he just gets in the weeds. See LB6 for that one. So, like, I don't fucking know, man. Shit's weird.
Honestly, I'm gonna be real. I think we have had some, like, quote unquote normal summers. Like, I don't know if, like, getting lost on a deserted island would be considered normal. Having to do a big race, that's not really normal either. I think the most normal one we had probably was Servant Fest, but then we added a fucking time loop mechanic, and we're just all like, well, fuck.
BB herself made that one weird. Yeah, I mean, like, the saying quote-unquote normal, is, like, normal writing for, like, FGO, but still most of our summers are on the, like, Type Moon April Fool's spectrum of story writing. This one is probably not going to end that direction, but is definitely on the more oddball side. But even the Servafez sequel had, like, that was also secretly a setup for the next limited time event, They were, pulling our leg a little on some stuff. Good?
Blacklist, like, I'm pretty sure that the BB is not actually BB, because I'm gonna find it really, really fucking weird if we have a servant just called BB Dubai. That name
it could, like, hey, I literally just thought of a crack theory. She's called BB Dubai. What if she's just the personification of the city of Dubai that looks like BB because, I don't know, she's a computer? I don't fucking know.
Oh, that's way too weird. But, like, BB Dubai just seems like such a weird name for a servant.
Like such a fake name. But also, like, I don't know.
It's like such a fake name.
BB is also just, like, inherently BB is shifty and she knows it, right?
Right.
Like, I could see BB trying to be fucking,
Moon Hotel.
Just building a new mood hotel. Yeah, I don't know. Like, also, I do want to say shout out, though, and I know a lot of people have been appreciating this. Shout out to the summer event. They actually have, like, generic residents of Dubai story sprites who are just normal people in culture appropriate clothing.
Man,
go on, thumbs up.
It feels so weird. Like, I went back to, like, when I went back into Dubai back in 2006 when they were still building a lot of those construction projects. So when I went through Dubai, like, there wasn't, like, all that as much glam and glitz as there were. Like, everything was still under construction. So just hearing how Dubai has become this, like, would Metropolis be the right?
Yeah, no, it's huge. They got record-setting buildings. One of the weirdest things to me is I would like to remind everybody of this because, time marches ever onward. And I did earlier reference that I think also, even though I haven't read that part, that second summer may have been a reference to Steel Ball Run. It's hard to tell. Is it a JoJo reference? I don't know. But Stardust Crusaders, written during the 80s, I would like to remind everybody, when they're doing their globetrotting shit, they pop through the United Arab Emirates. Back when it was, like, way less developed than that region is now. And I believe Dubai is one of the Emirates. But, you know, that was like a travelogue thing in a story that was set and written during the 80s. And when you get to the anime, you know, things are perfectly normal. Oh, yeah, this is...
Yeah, no, like, I literally found it. I looked for Dubai 2006. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, so like, they got some of the buildings, but that's just, like... And the freakiest part is this is before building, right? So I'm like, this isn't even post-apocalypse. This is actually, like pre-apocalypse shit. Because it looks like a Mad Max set, but it's just not built yet.
Yeah, it's just not built. Like, so it's just, I always have this really weird disconnect about, like, how awesome Dubai is. I'm just like, it's like, because I went there, like, almost 20 years ago. Ugh.
But yeah, so, like, I don't know. I mean, they do have the Burj Khalifa. They have a tower so tall that Tom Cruise just had to climb on the outside of it. He couldn't help himself. So, like, again, anything goes with FGO. Like I said, I lean to thinking I know. Like, if it is the way it is, I won't be surprised. But also, like, God, I was surprised they made it Ordeal Call 3, you know? They already got me once.
Listen, they got me with the Resh, and they got me with the summer. I should go to Dubai again. Actually see it so I can overwrite my previous memories of it. But yes, no, like, back on the point I was thinking, it's like, guys, I understand you might not like characters, but at least get them a chance to, you know, explain themselves before you start, you know, calling for torches and pitchforks. Is that too much to ask? I need to put Robin in timeout here for a second. Hang on.
We are no longer rewarding puns. All right, but yes, this was. I mean, it's a good discussion to have because we're in it. But this is a mid-mailbag discussion. There's more mailbagging.
There is more mailbag. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a net question here about app pins, and I think most people do consider probably having some sort of universal server corn to be the best solution. And honestly, there's nothing really else to say about that.
Yeah, I will say that it's interesting to ask this question when they kind of sort of have implemented a fix. You know, they're going to slowly roll out an increase of coins, and they're going to have some method for you to get bonus coins if you were rolling during a time period and got some extras, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I've said before, I think I said last week, I'm very curious to see what format that is, because this could be the universal coin system, you know? So we'll see if, like, they actually implement that and then maybe make it not just as a, like, backport to solve the problem, but an ongoing currency.
Robin lives yet again.
That's so great. Sorry, that's a great little... Okay. I have to explain. I don't normally like to go too much in the weeds with the patron chat. By the way, you can see our patron channel in Discord at any level on the Patreon, even if you can't listen to the show live. But so Robin got timed out for a terrible pun. And then, of course, because I mentioned earlier his infinite array of emotes, when he comes back for timeout, he has a animated emote, which is Taco revives from cringe, which is Taco, a mascot, just comes back to life. Well, too bad, buddy. That's why I warned you. I was trying to give you the signal on the down low. Anyway, mailbag.
So, we're going to move on, and this next one comes from Instructor Seal Supremacy. They say, howdy, Lucky Meg. I hope you're both having a good week. Man, I ate like 10 street tacos today. I'm feeling fucking fabulous. Next time I'm going to bring it down to 8. This week, we saw the showcase of the rest of the summer servants and is there a stain on my monitor? I think there is. Weird.
Smudge?
Yeah, there's a bit of a smudge. Just like over one of the words, I was like, wait a minute.
That happens to me sometimes.
And that said, I noticed a certain Sakura 5 member in the trailer, so my question to y'all is, do you think Kazura will be that welfare servant tied to the summer or OC3, or do you think we'll see another CCC event, CCC servant pop up, since they did make it sound like there will be welfare later in the OC3 part. P.S. No matter what, I just want the rest of the Sakura Vive, so I will roll, if I must, for Kazura. So, again, like, there is some writing on the wall about characters and whatnot. We don't necessarily need to get fully into it, but I do think, like, I don't know if Kazura would be a welfare Kazura. I'm pretty sure it would also would be a big pool. Honestly, if they're gonna pull a welfare, they might pull like a Passion Summer lip. If I don't know if the Mega Mention is, but there is a sprite with a Summer Passion lip in there, and it is very well detailed. She has sprite sheets and everything, so they put a lot of work into her. So if they're not gonna pull the trigger on that at some point, I think that might be weird. So I honestly think that Summer lip might be more likely a welfare.
Yeah, I strongly suspect that she is the welfare, and they just wanted to hide it to be coy. But she has appeared in story. It could just be a secret costume, because they did put regular lip in the the bonus servant array.
I'd be happy with that too.
But it's one of those things that, much like the appearance of a hypothetical Kazura drop in the CM, it's like, I'm not sure which way round this will be, you know?
Like, this event is going, like, the summer event and the Ordeal Call 3 is going to be going for a long while. And I cannot imagine that they will not be dropping additional banners, like, throughout this time.
Because, keep in mind, let's put this in perspective. So, Ordeal Calls, right? Let me pull up the wiki to be sure. But, the second Ordeal Call, which was earlier this year, was Avengers. That included, Mary Alter, finally. We also finally got, Count Cagliostro, after we knew that he was a guy who was around in Heiankyo, and also Super Dantes, like big pulls. And then Ordeal Call number 1, let me actually double check who was all in the...
It was 2 dudes and Durga. I cannot remember their names to save my life, though.
Oh my god, sorry. Searching the wiki for anything is a pain in the butt sometimes. Not actually the prologue, but the first Ordeal Call. Do you want to say where that is? There we go, Paper Moon. Yeah, so those actual banners were story-locked Bimanduranya, some more of our, whatchamacallits, the Maharobotic Head Boys.
Yes, thank you.
And then, yes, the second banner was, kind of a surprise, but, the Durga Kali pop-up. And then also Medusa Saber was shown in that story and then came out at a later limited event. So, like... They've had some zingers. They've had some stuff spread out. So you never know, right? Like we could end up seeing, Kazura or Violet like in the story, and then like they come out, a couple months later. Like they tuck one of them into a Halloween somehow, assuming we even get a Halloweenish.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm willing to bet there's gonna be. They might like. Again, BB could just be straight up BB. She could be like fucking super BB. I don't fucking know. And then we can actually get a straight up Kazura and yeah.
And I will say we also have been playing like as far back as Durga Kali. We've played around a little with like different ascensions at different points.
Yeah.
So like it could be that BB Dubai is, BB Dubai in that ascension, but other ascensions could be different. Once again, I would like to reiterate, as cool as her ascensions are, including the very funny third ascension, which is just stealing arc strip, Seal is only in a swimsuit in one ascension normally. Kind of is a very similar vibe to the way Summer Aresh works, or Space Aresh. So, I don't know anymore, man.
Again, I was like, everyone just, cool down your expectations. Just wait and see.
I mean, please. I will say I am kind of glad that, like, I saw maybe a little bit of agita, like I said, the same agita I had about people being like, "Oh man, is this a third? We got a third just BB." I saw a little bit of that, but generally people seem to be like, "Doubt, press X to doubt, I doubt." So we did kind of get against that, but that's actually what I was wondering how people would be feeling about this, because I don't think we like overly show favoritism to BB. I mean, I think we all know which. Obviously, we do favor BB a little. Like, I think she's very popular because she's also a Sakura adjacent. And I think Nasu has a lot of fun with that. But like, we all know that the overrepresented ones, for a long time and in a lot of ways, it's definitely still Nero with her, extra alt, her super special alt, her summer alt, her like 2 costumes. Tomo has no costumes. Cat got a costume before regular Tomo. I don't know, and this may just be that, like, I don't know if that's like Yeah, actually, I wanted to joke about her having a third, but I don't actually remember if Nira has a third costume or not. But actually, yeah, she's got the idol costume too. So does she have 3? Yes.
Yeah, she has because she has Olympic bloomers. She has the anniversary costume. She has her idol
outfit. Yes, that's right. So she does have 3. Like I said, I wanted to joke about 3, but I wasn't actually sure. And yes, Tama Cat also has an idol costume as well during that. But that is, like I said, Cat. And I've mentioned this. I don't know if that's just the FGO team, like, whether it's Nasu or the other writers, like, don't necessarily want to cross over with, like, regular Tamamo, and want to focus on Cat because she is the iteration that is unique to FGO. But we, hey, Extella 2 still hasn't come out, guys.
Listen, maybe once they get done with the extra record.
Well, who knows? We'll at least get a release campaign. God knows what the collab next year will be. I would assume Strange Fake, since that's finally going somewhere, but also, I don't know.
But yeah, it's like, when they release the rest of the Sakura 5, like, give me that Cosmo Drop, give me that Violet. I will roll for them. I would like to see a design for Violet, though, at some point.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what they would do with Ascensions, because, like, the way Violet kind of appears in concept art and the manga is just kind of like, a Sakura face with kind of like, Medusa body proportions and a cool hair drill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think you could pitch CCC as a DLC, but that would probably be pretty extensive. But let's let that, because that game has also been in development hell for a while. Let's let Extra Record actually come out first. Okay. Sorry, I was tightening my mic arm back on.
All right, moving on. This next one. Oh, hang on a second.
Well, here we is.
Where's Legendary? Where the fuck is Legendary?
He's right there, dying from cringe.
1 minute timeout.
So I said earlier, hey, spoilers. I'll reveal now. I typed earlier just as we started Mailbag. Hey, spoilers for Mailbag. Somebody's gonna get timed out again. And I said later, that was what I said earlier when I was like, that's why I said something in text to let you know. And so, yes, it happened.
I will not deign this.
He knows what's up.
He knows what's up. So, we move on. This next one comes from... excuse me. This next one comes from the Tire King having an existential crisis on who to 120 for MOONCANCER now between Seal and Summer to Lock. A powerful choice. The answer is clearly both of them. Question, hey guys, so recently I've been getting back into competitive Pokemon and got a little too sweaty and had a moment. So, I was wondering if there's any games that you got a little too sweaty. And if that's it for me, sending good vibes your way. Wah. And hope you have a great evening. P.S. The FGG skin is peak with more coming apparently. No, don't tell me that. Do not tell me that. For the PS context, Azure Lane is just now celebrating their 6th anniversary and have released new skins. One is for everyone's favorite conductor mommy, Frederick de Grosse. And she has a summer skin where she is wearing very little. Actually, she's not wearing anything at all. She's just kind of covered in a sheet. And there's just a pillow with just, yes, all over. And you're just like, oh.
Oh, and they're doing a yes pillow meme too? God, yeah. Azure Lane is like...
No, Azure Lane, like, especially with Azure Lane has kind of always been horny on main.
Yeah, we've always known.
But like for the past few years, their summer skins have been especially horny on main.
I know, shit, I don't remember what unit it was, but it's actually funny. I mentioned before, I think last week or a couple weeks ago, about going to the VTuber hole. I've mentioned Akiba Numine. One of the few VTubers I know who is as crazy for Azure Lane women as our Discord is. But I remember from some clips she had, I don't remember which unit it was, but it was some Azure Lane unit with the summer skin where they had, like, the secret touch moves where you could, like, rip her stockings and, like, undo the middle string on her, like, bikini top.
Yep.
And I'm just like, interesting.
You see...
Oh, was Shinano? That's right, yes. I mean, they're not actually sex scenes. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no nipple involved.
Tommy got Boss Hunter again.
I don't know what he's doing. You didn't even get to cringe again.
But back on this earlier bit, a little too sweaty. I don't know. What do we mean? What do we mean when we're talking about getting a little too sweaty here?
Well,
sweaty, are we talking?
Competitive gaming. Usually, you get a little too into it, a little too try hard. It's like being locked in, but like almost like toxically locked in. I think is usually what people mean.
Oh, okay.
Like getting sweaty at Mario Party is, like, you stop making jokes and you start trying really, really hard at all the mini games and, doing the thing where, boo, you go make sure to go out of your way to steal stars from the person with the most stars or coins and stuff.
I don't know. Like, I don't think I necessarily get, like, again, like, I know I have talked about this one, but, like, I'm not a big fan of PvP games, just in the general. So, like, if I'm not having a fun time, Lucky just gets out. I don't think I've ever reached a point of, like... Legendary.
He's got a good sense of humor about it.
Well, so I'm only timing out for a minute. I timed him out for 2 minutes previously, because unfortunately I don't think it lets me... I wish Discord would let me actually set the amount of time.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That lets him do some stuff.
The 2 minutes would let him know I was serious.
There's some very, very funny stuff I've seen with, like, Twitch and stuff, where I've heard people talking about, like, donation goals or what you call it? A banathon. Like, the idea is, like, you gift a certain amount of subs or whatever to have a like partnered streamer get timed out of the stream for X number of hours. Usually people that in real life you're friends with. So there's something inherently amusing about the concept of the timeout of just like, okay, you're going away for a little bit.
Goodbye.
Get in the box.
Get in the box. Get in the hole.
Honestly, if people want to see me be sweaty, not necessarily a recommendation, but I had a long thing about it. The sweatiest I've ever been is playing Yu-Gi-Oh. You can see examples of that in us playing Prague, but that's a limited format. So even then, I think my actual sweatiest is probably when I get real dunzo in like ladder events and stuff to try stuff. But I don't know if me complaining is actually part, like, that's a separate line from the sweaty. Usually the sweaty part is in the deck building beforehand, and there's definitely been a couple of weeks, and we, as a group, the Prague players discuss the concept of being sweaty on certain weeks. Like, we're like, sometimes we're like, all right, we're just fooling, these decks we made for fun or because we really like this archetype, and then I go to a different cut. I don't know if I was actually sweaty in Grim Grimoire. That I was just fucking annoyed, like, because it was... Some of those maps are fucking hard for no reason. God, that really pushed me to my limits on normal difficulty. PS2 era games, baby. But like literally we would have discussions where I would, talk about 1 week. I'm like, all right, this is a deck I've built because I have fun. And then, you cut to the next week and it's me and I'm like, I haven't won a tournament in 5 weeks. So I'm building a sweaty deck this week. We're going to try really hard, chat. Yeah, that's probably the sweatiest I've ever gotten. And collectively, the people I hang around have gotten. That's... Now that I want to go back to it, but Prague was a time. You got to see sweaty Dallas. Occasionally, Loth would try and get sweaty. Loth would actually try and get serious. So, like, it was an interesting time. I don't know if you're... I don't think you're sweaty, X. I think you just naturally have anxiety about failure. Losing makes you anxious, so you try not to do it.
But yeah, no, like, I was thinking about it. Like, no, like... I guess when it comes to, like, competition, just in general, I'm kind of ambivalent. Like, competition that has no real stakes is kind of just meaningless to me. So, while I can get heated in the moment, I don't think I'll ever reach a point of deciding to be purposely toxic about something. Because before that, I would have gotten mad and quit. And just be like, why am I doing this? This is a waste of time.
Yeah, I think, like, technically, the sweatiest I've ever seen you is maybe in some, like, frontline matches in 14. And even then, it's, like, very, very low level.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I think that is probably the best. Like, I do get mouthy, and if I will pop off on someone in chat.
And, like, technically I've seen you get, that angry kind of locked in playing games like Mega Man X. I don't know if you've ever gotten really sweaty about it, though. Like, are you... Lucky, you have to tell me if it's legally required. Do you gamer lean when you play Mega Man X? Are we leaning forward?
Yeah, sometimes I lean back.
He needs to get some space.
I gotta take in more of the field. I gotta widen my field of view. Yeah, no, like, again, because, like, I'm sorry, like, while Mega was thinking, I was actually thinking of, like, all my PvP experiences, like, when I played League, when I played, like, Call of Duty, when I play, I did play Destiny 2 for a while. And just like after a while, like nope, I'm not dealing with ranked. I'm not dealing with this competitive shit. I'm not dealing with it. Like, it's gonna make me go gray faster.
Which is, I think, especially when we talk about things about, like, playing COD sweaty or playing League of Legends, period, that is the rational response is go, man, ain't enough time for this. Some people get weird, but, other people just go, nah, man, not for me.
Okay, so I do think that's enough on that. Let us move further on. This next one comes from Agent 418 saying, hello, Lucky and Mega. Have a good weekend, y'all. Well, thank you very much. I hope you have one, too. But we're going to move on to our last one. And this one comes from No Swimsuit for Not Evil Lancer or Toria. I will say, I do like Double X. I genuinely do. But I feel like I saw her and I'm all like, that's not Lancer Alter.
I know, they're literally doing everybody before Lancer Alter. Why? Are you so upset that you wrote her into London and didn't do anything, and you're just like, we're just not going to talk about it?
Yeah, no, like, God,
she's tanned, so I can't be mad, but...
Yeah, like, she's cute, and, I do like X Alter, it's just... Why?
I do wonder if it's maybe kind of like an apology, because Idol X Alter is kind of a clunky unit. Like, she's very gimmicky. I don't know, she's not, even for a welfare foreigner, she's not very popular in that slot.
Yeah, but she's cute, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
So, again, it's just one of those things of, like, another summer, another missed opportunity on Lancer Alter. Lancer Alter's been out since, like, what, year 2?
1, technically. I think he was, like, I think that was before New Year's was London Banner 2.
Was London before? No, London was around New Year's, yeah, because it was in
London
December.
Was December, yeah. So
yeah,
was,
that's
like,
right.
I think the banner was either, like, right at New Year's or like, just before. So, yeah, it's like, super early. Oh, I don't think they've forgotten, because, like, what was it, a couple years ago, the artist did, that at least that one World Tour CE of her in those fucking pants. Tight-ass pants. So, like, we remember, it's just that, like, I don't know, maybe they don't have any ideas just yet. I mean, if we would apply this design philosophy of just imagine, Saber Alter, but taller, tanned, bigger boobs, like, that's all your design notes right there. We don't need anything more.
No, it's true.
Just make her an Avenger, because the last one was a ruler. I don't think they have followed up on the Wild Hunt is. They've got some fucking stuff for it, though, because they did an original anime episode for fucking Case Files, where they dealt with the fucking, literally the Black Dogs and lightning and shit. We could do some stuff. That would also be a perfect opportunity to do Swimsuit Drake. Drake is also connected to the Wild Hunt, maybe, kinda, sorta. Unfortunately, the Wild Hunt is very much a proper human history fairy thing. I think if you tried to explain it to the guys in Lost Belt 6, they'd be like, huh? What? Why would we have to party around Halloween? I don't know, man.
Alrighty. But they have a question. They say, hello, Lucky Mega. Question, do you guys think that we'll ever get new mecha servants in the future, and who do you want to be? Mecha servants, eh? I mean, I would like to get Aphrodite.
Yeah, let's say, do the Greek gods count? Get, Zeus mode? Aphrodite?
Like, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind getting some big, thick Demeter.
Oh, well, what was that joke? It's BBBB is the giant robot version. Speaking of BB alts, I think that was in like the capsule game or something.
There is probably some other like mythology that we can probably turn into mechs. I'm just not sure what any off the top of my head.
I mean, with the kind of like weird sci-fi stuff, we can pull that out with anybody in the Greek zone. We did actually kind of that one, the triple B. We did kind of avoid that with the Norse, because like while all the Valkyries are like mass production models based on an alien giant, they're kind of like biotech, like personality wise, the Valkyries are supposed to kind of be robot girls, but like they're still very much girl shaped, Yeah. And kind of the same with like Altera herself. So yeah, I don't know. We could get some more. I mean, it feels like part of the reason why we get servants who are machine trait. That's because that's literally a trait we have in the game. Speaking of Mysterious Idol X, but like some of that seems to just be like somewhere in the art design phase, somebody says, "Wouldn't it be cool if they were a robot?"
And then another person goes, "That would be excellent." Yes.
Like I'm pretty sure that's where our latest big mecha boy came from. Like I literally did that wanted, and I was like, yeah. So in real life, Ushi's uncle, like, was married, like, probably twice and seems to have had a couple of kids. Don't ask me how him being an Oni-killing robot works for that. We just decided it would be cooler if he was a Gundam.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who knows? Could be literally anybody.
Ooh, excuse me.
Sorry, I just had an existential moment. For some reason, I was clearing out one of my drawers and remembered that I do physically own a fidget spinner, and it somehow has migrated around to my room to being on my computer desk, and I am, in fact, fidgeting with it in my offhand. And I just stopped and went like, huh. Well,
My
you know,
God, you're using a fidget spinner for its intended purpose.
I know. I do actually have a couple of things I do to fiddle with my hands, but it's not required usually. But if you give me something that fiddles, I usually will fiddle. Fun fact, I'm terrible at Rubik's Cubes. But, yeah.
Yeah, I do believe that is it.
If you have any ideas for giant robot servants, or maybe not so giant, let us know in the comments, chatto.
Clearly we need the fucking 1-inch samurai as just a tiny robot man.
Oh, I'm a pens are like my like hand and like borderline oral fixation. I was a chewer as a child, and I will occasionally still just hold a pen in my mouth. For the sake of just holding them, I try to actually take the ink stick out of them because I'm not too proud to admit that as a child, anyway, it's been many years since this happened to me as pre-adult. Occasionally, I would bite a pen with ink in it too hard, just on accident, and then you get a mouthful of ink, which is really gross.
Ew.
On the off chance you've never tasted pen ink, Chad, it's not tasty. It's gross, and it lasts a while. It takes a while to wash out. The shit is sticky. It's supposed to retain a while, so don't do that. Don't chew pens. Also, it gets everywhere. But like I said, I'll twirl pens and hold pens in my mouth because I'm just like, hold on, I need to like occupy all my physical zones. Oh God, yeah, I think I either did that with blue or black ink, red pen ink.
That's a disaster. I'm a chewer as well. I had to actually break one of my chewing habits because I used to chew on the collar of my t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah. I did that a little bit, but that was never my primary. Like I said, it's usually the one of the big things that unfortunately fucked over my chances as a making money on collectibles was I would very often chew toys. I had a lot of like Thomas the Tank Engine toys and stuff. They had little soft plastic train connectors. A lot of those are gone. They didn't survive. Nibbled the fingers off a couple of my action figures as a child. That I'm definitely like my weird teething problem, not so bad. But occasionally, like I said, I still like to chew a lot of gum. Helps keep my mouth occupied, and I'll put the mouth in there. Well, that's just Garfield just eating drywall, which, drywall's just delicious. Who wouldn't eat drywall? But yes, that is the mailbag. That means it's time for Kaldea Free Talk, which is, we're going to talk about new servants, because we do actually have some of those. The first banner launched. I'm going to do this in reverse order, because the entry on Seal, which you can assume I am saying in all caps, I'm not going to say the whole thing every time, is like twice as long as everybody else. Like, I think her bullet points is as long as my notes for the other two servants put together. Summer Nikic, perfectly normal summer servant. Got 3 ascensions, got 3 different looks, doing a great job. She's a Lancer now, which I kind of figured that I did actually call correctly from, what weapon she was using. She is quick arts buster, 2 busters, 2 arts. Slightly high hits, slightly below average MP gain. She's like 0.45 or 4.6, but got like 4 hits on her quick and arts cards, kind of a thing. Her NP is single target arts. It gives the enemy NP seal for 1 turn and gives them 20% arts res down for 3 turns. Overcharges bonus damage versus Earth. Perfectly normal stuff. Single target Lancer does things. First skill is self 10 to 20% arts up for 3 turns. A 20 to 30% battery generates 20 to 30 stars. By the way, yes, that is a skill that starts at generating 20 stars and ends at 30. Literally every skill level up is just you generate 1 more star. Second skill is a 10 to 20% attack up, 20 to 30% crit up, and a 30 to 50% damage up versus Dragon on Self for 3 turns, and an additional 20% up to attack, defense, and crit on water side specifically. So, a perfectly alright skill normally, and if you're on a water battlefield, which again is not hard to arrange. Hey, guess who is also an Arts Lancer Summer? Lambda. You get a super extra bonus. Her final skill is 5 to 10 stars per turn, 5 to 10% NP per turn, and 500 to 1,000 HP per turn, all for 3 turns, and also for that same amount of turns, 20 to 30% NP gain. But her passives are just magic resistance and writing B. So yeah, no, just really put together modern servant. She is a summer alt. That's what it is. pretty cool.
And she's the cute.
Yes, I like a lot of her design elements for her swimsuits. She's actually has 3 separate swimsuits in each, one for each ascension. She's looking good, doing the good work. And it's funny. I saw happened to see a tweet from one plushy mistress, which reported that YouTube's claimed anyway, specifically that a video with Nikitch's NP in it was too spicy for YouTube. That was specifically what got it age gated. I don't actually know how true that is, but it's very funny. I think I posted this in our JP Discord conversation. So our Jufu Avenger is our next summer servant, and funnily enough, we've got a weird theme here. She's also quick arts buster. What are they trying to tell us? Also, she got a chainsaw. Her chainsaw is her noble phantasm. It's a single target buster with a very high instant kill chance. It's like 80% chance. Yeah, Legendary grabbed the tweet that I posted earlier. Yeah, very interesting. But not unheard of, given our own struggles with thumbnails in the past on YouTube.
The struggle with thighs.
Too powerful. Thighs are too powerful. But yeah, so Jufu's Avengers NP has a very high instant kill chance. I think it's like 80%, which means if you're an enemy who's like a bronze enemy with a like normal instant death resist, they are killed 80% of the time. If her instant death procs, the whole team gets 20% attack up for 3 turns. And the overcharge effect is bonus damage to human attribute enemies. Her first skill is a 20 to 30% arts and buster up for 3 turns. It's also a 20 to 30% battery. You can tell that they've got servant design down to kind of a science now. Yeah, it's just a battery and it's just a adult card up. Our second skill is 10% NP gain for the team. Also gives the whole team 5 to 10 NP per turn for 3 turns. So, 10% right now, 30% over the next 3 total of 3 turns. And is also +1 overcharge for 1 time 3 turns. So got a little team support. Very fun. Her third skill is a big buff to her instant death success for 3 turns. And yes, it is 3 turns. It gives her 20 to 30% NP damage for 3 turns. And also gives her separate instances of 20% bonus damage each versus each dot. So against burn, curse, and poison for 3. Her passives are, interestingly enough, just the Avenger passive and Oblivion Correction, though her Oblivion Correction is EX, so it's a very big passive crit buff. And she is still weak to Python.
I was about to say.
She still gets her 20% attack down versus Yume Ren specifically. She also has the High Servant passive trait, and her Avenger passive is called Avenger Pretending, I think, or Facsimile. So, there's definitely, even besides, like I said, the BB stuff, we've already got something funny going on here. But yeah, I actually think, on the one hand, this has actually got some interesting team comps to go along with your friends, the various Avengers. But I do actually think this Jufu is a better team player with either of the other Yume Rens, because both of them do inflict dots. So you can do some very funny stuff there with, have Vanilla Assassin Python go first, curse the whole enemy team, clear ads, and then Jufu hits him with a chainsaw. By God, she sawed him in half. But again, just fun little stuff. And again, perfectly normal summer ascensions. I don't even think that any of them are even super. Yeah, no, I don't. You could argue her first one is kind of space themed, but it's more. I think she just has a funny hat. Oh, and I think she has a slightly different Yume Ren plush in each ascension, which is very cute.
He is indeed the cute. That's what's important.
Yes. Including in her final ascension art, which she's got her Yume Ren plush has like a floaty and sunglasses.
I know, it's the best.
The summer version. Yeah, no, I really like her final ascension. It's very beautiful. And now we get the funny one, the extreme one. It's the Mysterious Executioner, CIEL. Her official AKAs on the wiki include Teach Me Seal Sensei, Teach Me Miss Seal, and Star Seal. So, yeah, we're getting a little brazy. So, shocking everybody, I think, Seal is a Mooncancer, because she's here to steal Arc Strip. Also, technically still an Archer, because one of her passives gives her class advantage against sabers. So she doesn't get defensive advantage, but she does do 1.5 times damage to sabers. So, yeah, she's kind of an Archer as well as being a Mooncancer. Very funny. So, we're going to get some more Mooncancers to kind of jumble this up, but she's technically on the higher attack, lower HP end. Her stats are actually very similar, but not the same as Archetype Earth's. But like I said, she's, more down on the HP side, or on the attack side, which is all pretty evenly, because the high HP side of Mooncancers is units like Summer Kiara and Jinako, and I think Jinako still has, the highest base HP in the game. Maybe not at level 120, but, a lot. So that's where the stat weight goes. Hey, guess what? Unless the wiki has been lying to me this entire time, she's also quick, arts, buster. Literally everybody on this banner got the Saber style, 2 arts, 2 busters deck. She also has 4 hit counts all around, so her, or 5 hits on her quick even. So her NP gain is 0.46, so, a little below average to make up for slightly higher hit counts, but it doesn't really matter because of other reasons we'll get into. Pretty crazy. So I said those other 2 summers had, perfectly normal NPs. So, Seal's NP, single target buster. First, activates 1 turn of sure hit and ignore defense. Deals bonus damage to demonic trait enemies, one of the most common traits in the game. She has a 100% instant kill chance. This means that if you're targeting a bronze enemy, a bronze mob, they will literally die every time. And it kind of adjusts from there. But yes, 100% instant death chance. And also, refunds her 20% NP.
Oh.
And that's not even her overcharge effect. Her overcharge effect is to give herself increased NP damage first as well, which starts at 30% and maxes out at 60%. So yeah, we're not fooling.
Stonks.
Yes, no, we've immediately created a boss killing niche here. Good attack, very good traits that activate, and her, instant kill effect does happen after damage is dealt, I believe. So yeah, and she self-refunds. Her first skill, which by the way is an 8 to 6 turn cooldown, gives her 10% NP per turn for 5 turns. This is flat, by the way, so it always does this. Recovers 500 to 1500 HP per turn for 5 turns. Gives her 30 to 50% debuff resist for 5 turns. And 50 to 100% buff removal resist for 5 turns.
Jesus.
Yeah, Seal is truly the invincible girl. And this is just the first skill. So yeah, you're talking about great longevity. Her second skill, very wordy. So, it is a perfectly normal 20 to 30% buster and arts up for 3 turns. Again, this is a buff that almost all of these units have. We have very much a strong theme going on here. It also gives her 2 separate on attack buffs for 3 turns. When Seal is attacking with an arts card, the enemy she hits gets 20% healing down for 3 turns, has a 30% chance to reduce their NP gauge by 1, and straight up removes their guts.
Oh.
You got guts? No, you don't. And you might take a charge down. And then her, the other effect is when she attacks with buster cards, she just straight up generates 10% NP gauge. Also, she gets a 30 to 50% crit up for 3 turns if her HP is at 100% or if it's 50% or higher. And I believe this is similar to the attack up that I think it's Summer Nero has. So these are technically conditionals. So if you do not meet this effect, if her HP is below 50%, they'll just be dormant. But if you raise above that level, they will turn on. And these are separate buffs, so I do believe that means that if she is at 100% HP, she actually gets plus 100% crit. But if she's below 100% HP, it goes away until you heal her back up. So, very interesting conditional, and that lasts 3 turns. Final skill, Seal takes your command hand, your hand of command cards, throws them away, deals 5 new Seal cards. This is the reverse of how they changed Summer Buntoria's shuffle. The way as it is phrased is the party's command cards will not appear except for self 1 time, 1 turn, deals 5 new command cards. So she resets the command deck entirely, but that first draw will only be her cards. So she just gets a free, Mighty Brave Chain. Also, 30% battery. Also gives her a 3 times 3 turns, 80 to 100% defense up buff. And God help you if you actually hit her, she gets another 3 times 3 turns buff when she is damaged, where she heals 1k to 2k HP. Again, 3 times 3 turns.
Jesus.
So yeah, no, the fact that she's not on the higher HP end for Mooncancers doesn't really matter. Seal is the indestructible woman, which I think is appropriate, but also, damn. So her passives are Mag's Resistance A, So that's right, she gets 20% debuff resistance all the time. She has independent action EX, which means she gets 12% crit damage all the time. And she has a special passive, which gives her 500 HP every turn. She just heals 500 HP all the time. And then also her fourth passive is the one that gives her 1.5x damage versus sabers. This is like the true, like, we couldn't make up our minds who the anniversary servant was this year. So we gave you 2. 2? Which was also what I replied in response to a bot post about putting 2 Astolfos in Apocrypha.
Well, no. The bot post was, it's all like, if we put Astolfo in Apocrypha, he'd have it solved in 30 minutes. And then someone responded, apparently the bot hasn't actually seen Apocrypha.
Yeah.
To which I then responded, like, no, it means we have to have 2 Astolfos in Apocrypha. And then we ran with it.
Yeah. So yeah. And as usual, I don't really like to give people the press on it, but some people are complaining about Seal's third ascension because Takuchi, like lots of artists, does have a little bit of a same face thing, but some people are like, it's literally just color swapped arc. It's not. Her head is literally like at a different angle, so that means that her eye and mouth are not in the same position. It's not literally the same. They look very similar.
It's like having a distinctive style or something.
Yeah. I mean, it is known that, like, I think Takuchi is a perfectly fine artist, and some people are like, oh, look, he's tracing his own art. That I don't think so. I think he's probably just using similar references or just eyeballing it from memory. So yeah, he has the same face, but shitload of artists have that. You know how many manga artists also have a same face problem? I think the TV trope's name for this is only 6 faces. Like, some people just don't draw lots of different face shapes, you know? And like I said, it's as people like to try and make it seem more similar than it is. Even these aren't that similar. I do think that Star Seal is very deliberately designed to look similar to Archetype Earth, because my understanding, I still haven't gotten into getting into Tsukihime yet, but my understanding of Arc and Seal's relationship is definitely, absolutely, Seal would come and raid Arc's closet and just steal her shit. Yeah, no. Thank you for the side-by-side legendary. Yeah, like I'm looking at these. They're that's literally not the same. But they are kind of similar. But slightly different eye curves. The mouth shape is a little different. The hairstyles are actually kind of similar, though I noticed that I think Star Seal only has 1 Ahage, and I think Arc has 2. She's got double idiot hair. She's a double idiot. And the poses and angles are different. This is very clearly a case where it's just he has a style where he draws the 2 heroines very similar. And fun fact, I assume that people had to complain about this aspect because generally, I don't think they found much to complain about Seal's other Ascension arts, because Seal's one of those characters who has completely different poses in each of her Ascension arts, and also has not as different, but different poses in her sprite work as well. They're multiplicative. Idiot squared. Got it. Thank you for clarifying. But yeah, that's our new servant Detailios.
Helios.
Like I said, it's very interesting to see, 2 perfectly normal summer units, and then again another secret anniversary unit, kind of similar to the summer we just had in NA.
Oh, don't you worry, Omega. We just got a whole nother banner to go.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what it's gonna be like. Like, is it gonna follow the same mold, and are our 4 stars gonna be kind of like typical, and then God knows what what BB Dubai will actually be doing. Because BB, and even the rest of the 5-star Sakura faces, do have a very strong history of unique mechanics, Summer BB Pele has her, unique lock-in effects to lock the command cards. King Protea's, max HP stacks are some of the most insane buffs you can get in the game in terms of HP totals. I think Melt was one of the first characters to play around with, sucking up NP from both enemies and allies too. We do a lot of weird, unique things here. So no matter what, it'll be interesting. But yeah, that's the end of that. Honestly, belting through the news, it's a pretty reasonably sized show. We're about hour and a half in.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I'm fighting a sneeze slightly.
Oh no, natural body functions.
Yeah, slightly distracting. I'm sure it'll sneak up on me now when I'm speaking. Well, saying the question of can they say a servant is one class and Mamuzla they're another? I don't think they can announce a banner servant will be a certain class and have them not be that class. Pretenders like to show up in story as, like, a bunch of different classes. Please recall Oberon being, like, a rider and an archer, I think, at different points, before we actually lock into Pretender. But, like, actually banner announcing... Oh, yeah, he was a ruler as well. Announcing a banner, I'm pretty sure they can't change it, but I don't know for sure. There is also the factor of, like, take a look at Seal, for instance. She is a Mooncancer. She has the normal Mooncancer effect. But she also has a passive where she gets, 1.5x damage against sabers. So they can do things to have, characters alter their class combo and, change their class affinities. So we could see some more of that, oddly. But no, I think the announced classes are supposed to be mostly correct. But let's talk about a few bits and bobs of stuff. My first What's Up notes. Looks like we're going to get some pretty good PS Plus games this month.
Yeah.
If you're on the extra or higher tier. If you got premium, there's going to be some Time Splitters ports. That's pretty cool. And just in general, I think an interesting conversation for the internet of this is also the month of a shitload of Sword Art Online games, which, in case you did ever actually doubt if Sword Art Online is actually really popular, it is. It makes a lot of money, and people do like it, especially in Japan. But it is kind of interesting to see just how many there are. But no, they released a lot of them. They're also doing, Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker, so we got a lot of anime games. But we also got some interesting ones in our core block. Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
I think technically coming back to PS Plus. May have been in, like, Ubisoft collections earlier, but they're bringing it back. Which is interesting, because I've played, like, most of the first Watch Dogs. It's a game that's very bland. It's bland. It's a little bland. It's very much like Ubisoft trying to apply their Assassin's Creed type formula to an actual modern game, but they're, like, the gimmick, instead of climbing on everything, is hacking everything. So it's all right, but it's very much a, like, experimental foundational game in a new franchise. And the writing is very odd. But I've heard a lot of good stuff about Watch Dogs 2.
Same.
Like, that one, people say, like, actually popped a little bit better. Yeah, several people in our chat are, saying Watch Dogs 2 is decent. So that's good. That's a good pull. We're also adding Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The most popular Witcher game. Pretty big game. Interesting to see. I've never played a Witcher, so that's cool.
I tried playing Witcher 1, but I could never get too far in it.
Yeah, I've heard that it's funny, like, people like to talk about The Witcher as a like RPG franchise that is, like, truly entrenched and stuff. But, like, I think it really didn't get popular until the third game, and the third game is like much more accessible.
No, I actually know this for a fact. It was the Witcher 2 that got popular.
Okay, so it's the we improve on the sequel, and then that brings back in the big crowd for the third game.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, Witcher 2 was a big seller, but Witcher 3 was a phenomenal seller.
Yeah, that is kind of the way franchises go. Like, funnily enough, talking about Witcher 3 versus Watch Dogs 2, that's kind of like the two ways that arc can go. Watch Dogs kind of went the way where, like, they had a very mediocre first game. The second game was, by all accounts, was pretty good, but people weren't super interested in it because of the first game was kind of neutral. And then, as funny as Watch Dogs Legion sounded, I don't think people had a lot to say about it. So I do not think it actually got in there. It reminds me of a conversation about Star Wars Outlaws, which comes out at the end of this month, by the way.
Wild.
Our late summer, early fall video game releases are starting to ramp up. I really need to start working on my backlog.
People saying it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's interesting, because, like, I've seen some conversations about people like, man, people are being really mean to this game. They want it to fail. And I saw, I think it was Jesse Cox actually said that he's like, I don't want this game to fail. I don't want any video game to fail. But I feel burnt out by Ubisoft games that I just am not sure I believe them that this game is good. Honestly, I think that is going to work in Outlaws' favor, because the vibe I'm getting is that Star Wars Outlaws is probably above average, looking all right. Like, it certainly looks good, and it probably sounds like gameplay-wise it will be, a little above par. Oh, I see tweets from people, I check my For You tab. No, I haven't checked out a book club. I've seen some of Jesse's, like, stream archives for 14 when talking about stuff. But yeah, like the way Outlaws looks is like it's probably gonna be a solid C plus B type game. Not perfect, maybe not game changing, but like pretty good. And I think the fact that most people have no expectations that the game is gonna be good means that people are hopefully gonna give it some leeway to actually be all right. So I'm cautiously interested. Like God knows I'm not going to pre-order this game. I've seen some stuff from Ubisoft. They don't always have bangers, but I'm also not like dead set that like, no, this game is going to be terrible. It must be terrible. The game must be bad. I'm just gonna be like, oh hey, that's neat, that's good. But yeah, I need to catch up on my backlog. I need to fucking probably finish P3 Reload so that I can hypothetically buy the Episode I guess DLC at some point and get into other games in my backlog, which should be, based on what I said to myself, Rise of Ronin or actually get around to Stellar Blade. But yeah, Witcher 3 coming out, that's an interesting one to see. Like I said, I've never played a Witcher, so it is good to, they're going to get in there with the whole bundle. And it is, the Wild Hunting version with all their extra juice. Also, the text bite on the PlayStation page says coming with, the PS5 version is enhanced, so it's got extra tech, faster loading times, and includes a bunch of community-created and newly developed mods for the game, interestingly enough. So it looks like we may actually get some of that, some more of that kind of like integrated mods on console stuff, which is always very interesting to me.
Yeah.
On the other one that's also really interesting, I don't know why we're on this trend. There was Monster Hunter Rise a couple months ago, but also Wild Heart's coming to PS Plus.
Yeah, I hear that one didn't do so hot though, so I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, that one I'm not surprised. It comes from, I think, might have been a little bit of a troubled development phase. It was done by, Omega Force, who I know do sometimes have some hit or miss games, and was partnered with EA Originals. If somehow you never saw it, Wild Hearts is kind of, I think very explicitly a Monster Hunter clone. They seem to be leaning a little more on the mythological, but also still have some decent, like tech tricks and stuff. A lot of people were in the downtime because it was coming out before Monster Hunter Wilds was even announced. Like a lot of people were excited for it for that Monster Hunter jonesing. I think it may have had some tech issues, perhaps on PC ports. And I don't know like what their like rollout for content was. I think I remember seeing tweets from some people who were like a little content starved in the game. Like they had plans for like rolling updates that were slow coming. And so I think the player base kind of fell off. But that is like one of those things that I kind of want to be like, well, what did you expect? Because Monster Hunter World has such fucking longevity. Like that World was like this year, World's concurrent players on Steam was beating several other newer games. Like, I think they just, like, out of nowhere, just, like, completely flummoxed, like, Skull and Bones at one point, I think was the metric people were using. And some other games where were just like, yeah, people just decided to play Monster Hunter World again. It just happens sometimes. The children, they yearn for the monsters. And I suspect that, while people will be in that mood, I don't know if they'll be playing Wild Hearts on PS5, because I do also know that, speaking of Monster Hunter Wilds has been doing, a little bit of a presser tour. They've been releasing videos showing off all of their weapon selection. I know nothing. I regret to inform you, audience at home, you cannot run a personality test on me based on my preferred Monster Hunter weapon. I've never played a Monster Hunter. So
I'm gonna try and get you in on Wilds.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get Wilds because I know you'll get it, and we have a couple of PS5 friends. Loth may be employed, so he can figure out if it'll have crossplay. He'll either get a new PC to play it, or he'll fucking get a PS5. Maybe, who knows? But we'll have some people to get in there. But yeah, like I've never tried out one, so you cannot format me. But I've seen several of the popular Monster Hunter. We have a lot of fans of Monster Hunter in our Discord. They're very excited about various trailers. People can't run that test on you. They're lucky. What's your preferred Monster Hunter weapon?
Oh man, I've been Heavy Blade since Gen 1, back on the PSP.
And there you go. Have they? I think they did that trailer already. I don't remember though. If not, I could be just talking nonsense. But yes, aesthetically, I've always thought Monster Hunter weapons are very cool. And then another interesting one, Cult of the Lamb coming to PS Plus.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Yes. And it's very expertly timed because they just announced their third free content pack, which is now added 2-man co-op to the game.
Rad.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Cult of the Lamb's a great game. I haven't fully played through all the updated stuff. I beat the game in vanilla when it came out. I bought it like the first week, and so beat the vanilla mode. Have not actually gone through and defeated all the contento, but it's cool. And if you have PS Plus at the extra level, you should pick it up. It's a good game.
Oh shit, Ender Lilies is on PS Plus. Fuck, I gotta add that to my library.
Yes. Ender Lilies is one of the monthly games this month, I believe. Yeah, I already added it to my collection just in case. I've heard Ender Lilies pitched as God shit, I'm forgetting the bug game for a second.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah, Hollow Knight. Like anime Hollow Knight.
That's what I've heard too.
So that can be interesting. And like we said, if you are a retro fan, we're getting some new ports, I believe, of the classic Time Splitters, Time Splitters 2, and Time Splitters Future Perfect. Not yet getting Sly 2, but hopefully in a future month. And also, like I mentioned before, a fucking bajillion Sword Art Online games. Is the Fatal Bullet one an actual FPS? No, it is a third-person shooting RPG. Yeah, great sword, big sword.
Yeah, no, I've been using. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they're simple to use, but yeah, no, I've been using the Great Sword forever. I can also fall back on long swords, dual blades, heavy bow guns, but yeah, usually Great Sword is where I am.
Yes, we shall commence the big chilling. So yeah, lots of good PS Plus games coming out. We'll check out some of those. Not great for my backlog, but what is? Oh yeah, actually, just a funny thing that also happened today. I guess we're getting some interesting timing passed on this, but I believe just today, Joe Cat's coming back to streaming.
Oh, he is? That's
and
good.
He's 2D now. He's VTubed.
Neat.
So he has become his Catboy avatar.
Excellent. Good for him.
Yeah, I know he took a step back, but he come back. He got stuff to do.
I'm glad.
Yep. So seen a lot of positive messages his way. My next one, Citizens. I regret to inform you it's been 10 years since PT. Seen a couple posts about that. Even Hideo Kojima himself reminiscing about it. But this does mean funny follow-up. Just today, Friday is the time we're recording this, Game Grumps has released an anniversary video where they're playing PT again. I need to watch all of it, but I watched like the first 5 or so minutes, and it's one of their longer videos. It's like 50 minutes long, like the original drop. First of all, if you've never seen Game Grumps play PT, like the original one,
oh, it's so good.
You gotta because Aaron is being such a shit because Danny is so properly freaked out. Like the original PT with no context was very freaky.
It was.
And I love how it ends because this is a spoiler, but you'll get your whole it's about the journey, not the destination. The video ends not with them completing the demo, but when Danny goes, "That's it, I'm done," and he physically gets up and leaves the recording room, and Aaron immediately chickens out of continuing playing on his own. So it's interesting to see them kind of revisit that vibe a little.
No, I'm sorry. I think I just remember one of my favorite Danny moments in Game Grumps is when they were playing Silent Hill Shattered Memories. There's this one point where they're walking through the ice. There's a cutscene playing here. Danny's trying to say something. A dude suddenly shows up on the screen and screams. Danny screams, and then Aaron screams because Danny screams.
No, it's great. Like I said, I don't keep up with all their video content. And some of that I will say is because I feel like Aaron kind of hasn't changed his sense of humor in 15 years.
No, not really.
Sometimes he has some new material, and I think there are some times when their OG style is there. But I have watched many an old ski compilation of Game Grumps stuff that are still very funny in the Classico. And Danny's still out there making great music, and like I said, sometimes they do video series that I'm actually interested in. So yeah, I need to go back and finish their PT revisit after 10 years, because that's just gonna be ripe for it. Another one of just oddball intranet news that they've seen. It's still going on. 24K strong. So I feel like just acknowledging, because we do this occasionally with Twitter being weird. So for 24 hours now ish, I think Mating Press has been trending on Twitter.
Yeah, I just checked 2 minutes ago. It's still there.
Yeah, no. Now I'm pretty sure I understand why. Because I think I first noticed this just before went streaming yesterday. I think the way this works is it's because, like, OC artists, streamers, VTubers, like, posted a couple of this, like, meme format image, which is guys will literally see this and type mating press. And of course, if you post that on x.com, formerly known as Twitter, everybody who sees that tweet will go in the replies. I mean, not literally everybody, but you know what I mean. They'll go in the replies and they're going to type mating press, which of course causes a trend. By the way, do not look up this trend at work or on a bus. You'll be in trouble.
I think that reminds me of a joke that I saw. I can't remember who's the artist. I don't know if it was Centuri-chan or someone else who has a similar art style, but just with a lady in big armor just going, "I sentence you to mating press."
That sounds kind of like a Centuri-chan joke. I do follow Centuri on Twitter. Because where else can you get cute and sometimes horny art and also historical shitposting?
Pretty sure most of the art is actually horny.
But yeah, so this is a thing that, like I said, I like noticed it a little bit yesterday, and then to my surprise, the trend is continuing as of today, Friday, and I do not know if it will keep going.
I don't know. Twitter is not the place I want to see mating press. I really don't.
Sadly, it is one of the few places that you can see it, just because lots of other social media outlets crack down on anything remotely resembling sexual content.
That is true.
This is a very funny thing I've noticed, but, I'm still in my my returning to my VTuber clips era. And what words VTuber clippers will censor just to be safe with YouTube, like, auto-catching them, or possibly cross-posting with TikTok. I've also heard that, like, TikTok has very strict censorship. That is why people say shit like "unalive myself," because TikTok will really scrunkle down on you. But, like, it's a very funny disconnect between, like, what VTubers and other streamers, both male and female, are willing to talk about on Twitch or YouTube versus what we can feel like we can say. Is funny, but also sometimes I'm just like, man, we can't even, like, you feel like you gotta put, like, a little air horn honk sensor on the word boobs. I do know that YouTube's detection for words is usually pretty good, but also, that stuff. Anyway, watch your favoritist content creators. Check them out. Watch people. Watch clips of them. Circulate them. Give them juice. Watch us especially, but also, watch other people. I know Rubik's Prepper's got another new video I need to actually clock out of here, catch up on.
Oh, that reminds me. Because it was just posted not too long ago. Terminal Montage just released something about Banjo-Kazooie, and I watched that today. But then I went and watched the fruitless quest of
Nabi.
Was it Nabia?
Yes.
Nabi? I loved it. It was great. It was so cute.
Oh gosh, I don't remember if I mentioned that on a show or not. I think I mentioned that to you in a different VC call, but yeah. Terminal Montage has a original animation pilot that's pretty good.
No, it's good. I like it. It's like living an RPG, but like actually living in an RPG. People have text boxes and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's very strongly inspired by the same kind of jokes he makes in his, something series, but it's original content.
No, and it's good. I was a little iffy how it started off, but no, once we actually got into it, I was like, no, this is great.
Yeah, he did a little bit of a front-loaded, like, action beat, but when the jokes start flowing in amidst that, it's pretty good.
Oh, the fucking grandma's house.
Or that one kid who's like, what was it? It was like, Uncle, I think I was thinking of, do you ever get, nightmares about the moon?
The capes were its stars, and it said it said 2 words. Soda machine.
No, it's good. Terminal's a very fun boy.
There's actually this other YouTube creator who made some really good comedy bits. I can't remember their name right now, but a lot of their shit was making me laugh. Actually, let me see if I can. Let me go pull it up. Here. Let me go pull up something.
Was it because I saw a handful of these in the YouTube history. Was it the shorts content?
Yes.
I will say my own shorts content is very weird because I've actually started following Robin Swords. We post his shorts and videos a lot because he does Tima and talks about swords and polearms and stuff, which is very relevant to us doing Rain. But also I found a YouTube channel for Tessa Shinryu, like the one of the bigger Japanese sword schools, and they just post shorts of sword students doing different katana draws and cuts and shit.
That's rad.
And I'm just like, nah, that's pretty cool. Like, I think I first got plugged into the algorithm because I saw a video like where somebody was practicing like how you're supposed to draw like a nodachi, like a big sword, and then it just like percolated. I'm just like, no, that's pretty cool. Hold on, I'm going to roll my chair back to grab my handkerchief. I got a little far away there because that's the field sneeze. Yeah, the sword stuff is very important. Also, hey chat, my next blob of just being in the VTuber hole recommendations. If you haven't, check out Cinder, the Hellhound VTuber.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, she's pretty great. I like her a lot because she's got that kind of like infectious energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's often very happy and get in there. Not afraid of sometimes doing some of the more sexy topics. She does have a version of her model she calls the succubus. But also lots of playing around. Like her models are rigged to like change colors when chat makes certain donations and stuff. And I think she's got a really good sense of like her art team with like lots of different facial expressions which communicate her energy to the audience. It's good. Sometimes she does craft streams. Well, I don't have time to watch full streams of like hardly anybody because they're long, but I mostly live through clips. I do know there was a little bit of a thing going around where YouTube was actually banning VTuber Clipper channels under their quote-unquote impersonation policy.
What?
Which I can kind of understand because usually those channels are called something like Daily Dose of, so-and-so and stuff like that. But it was the kind of thing where a lot like some of YouTube's previous problems with copyright hits, like the moderation system would just decide and would like hit you with all the shit at once, so you would get like auto banned, which even the VTubers themselves were not huge fans of. So I think most of the big ones got it reversed after some hullabaloo, and are kind of changing their names. But that's something to be aware of in the world. It's so funny that like YouTube can actually get off their ass and be so overzealous with a anti-impersonation policy that they can like catch people who are just doing fan works, but there are still copyright trolls out there. I think I've even seen some of the stuff. I know for a fact that there's another indie VTuber, Made Minto. She's a big fan of Metal Gear. She's posted some Metal Gear streams. If anybody if you know, you know. But I've seen clips of her ranting about a guy who's a copyright troll about Metal Gear footage, and I think I'd have to double check all of our Metal Gear streams, but I think even we had some problems where I had to tell YouTube to be like, no, don't do that. Because unfortunately this is still a thing where just like copyright law is so like opacified, and like such a pain in the ass that technically YouTube is supposed to like chase down problems when people are doing false claims, but also it's such a pain in the butt that like they usually don't. So you get, people who copyright sit, and it's annoying. And I've run into this problem before, and it sucks. I hate it.
Well, anyway, don't hang. Go check out these 2 shorts that I posted in the Patreon chat.
What is this channel? Hayue? Don't know. I remember the Mountain Chicken one, but I did not watch any of these others. I should check them out when we're not recording. Yes. If I click them while we're recording, I will be quote unquote stealing the videos because you will be blasted, chat. Well, the people watching the audio at home. So we won't do that. Let's see. Where are we at? Machine clock us. About an hour 55. I threw down just a couple of casual conversation topics to fill in the last 20 or so minutes. Anything up with you, Lucky, you want to bring up?
Nothing too much. Like I said, I have gotten back into Warframe. I don't know if I actually mentioned that. Did I mention that? I don't remember. Anyway, I've gotten back into Warframe. Loth and Aaron have been joining me in that as well. And I keep, nudging Omega into joining. But I will understand if he's not, like, too keen on getting started on it right now, because, boy howdy, there's a lot in fucking Warframe to do! Jesus!
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, oh man, my friends are playing Warframe, and they got crossplay on console and shit now. I could download it, but also then I'm just like, oh god, my backlog. And I'm still doing shit in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
Today, earlier, I made sure to unlock all the Aether Currents and Heritage found, so now I can fly there.
Yay!
I also did Vanguard like 4 times as Dragoon. I still don't have every armor piece. Close though. But yeah, you've been Warframing.
I've been Warframing, been putting in several hours, getting caught up on things, realizing there's complete systems I've been missing, dying over RNG. So there's that. So if anyone's keen on playing Warframe with me, let me know. Hit me up. I need bodies. Send dudes. But something I've noticed, and Aaron was actually interested in this as well, is that you reinstalled Civ 6, didn't you?
Yeah. I've mentioned it a few times that I have been like using Civ as like my sounding board when I was doing a lot of background writing for Rain, of just like, what are resources? What are things people need? Which is actually pretty good, because I don't think I would have remembered that like the gypsum is a thing that you want, but actually it is very important for like plaster and other building materials. But yeah, eventually I bit the bullet and reinstalled Civ 6 because, I have a newer PC with more juice, and we kind of stopped playing Civ 6. We got pretty heavy on multiplaying Civ 6 games for a while. We kind of stopped because between me and Loth a little more on the internet side, but, my PC had its own struggles. It was hard sometimes because games would have, like, really long lag between turns and usually just eventually, like, imploded after a couple hours anyway.
Yeah.
But, since I reinstalled it on the new machine, which I hadn't done before, it runs a lot better. I don't have to be in, like, super low graphics mode. I can actually see the leaders, like, walk around and talk with their hands. I did have to actually turn that feature off. So, yeah. And I assume that as I've seen the Steam alerts, that it's the classic problem of one guy turns on Civ 6, and then everybody's got to be like, shit, man, Civ 6.
Yes, no, I was going to ask if you wanted to play some Civ 6 after we got done today. I think Aaron's down.
Hey, funnily enough, guess what I was going to ask? Because,
yeah!
Are we down to play? Are we leaning some way? Yeah, we could do that after this.
Yeah, no, like I said, like you were saying, playing Rain has definitely, like, kind of put me back in that Civ 6 mood. Like, I generally think I do like Civ 6. Like, Civ in general. I like playing Civ games because they're fun. And they can be, even though they are competitive, they are that chill kind of competitive. You don't have to, grab all your dudes and go run over someone. It's like, no, there's alternate ways to win.
Yeah, and personally, the way I've always liked to play Civ games, all the way back to, like, I mentioned before, I think that the first game I ever played in Civ was Call to Power, which is in some ways cursed me because that's a game that lets you advance the timeline very far in the future. You can build underwater cities and space colonies, which is something about every regular mainline Civ game has made me cry, that they're like, stop at, like, launching a satellite. We'll see with Civ 7. We're supposed to get some gameplay footage in a couple of days, which is also probably why I'm in the mood as well. But yeah, no, like, the way I like to play Civ games is, like, biggest map size, but don't do maximum players, like, give you a little bit of breathing room, So being turn-based, it is that more chill effect because you can kind of just sit back and, like, work on your plans, work on your projects. But yeah, no, that'll be a good one to brew up. Yeah, and another thing, funnily enough, just completely out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere. I think it's because they're building up towards Civ 7, which was announced. Actually, technically, was it either at Summer Games Fest or PlayStation State of Play? I think it was Games Fest.
I think it was Games Fest,
which is a pretty baller one, pretty good to see. But
isn't Gamescom next week?
Yes, I believe Gamescom is next week, and that's probably why we're going to get that Civ 7 footage. But they are working up press on Civ 7. And so they decided to do a really good thing, thumbs up. They've killed the 2K launcher. You will no longer need to start Civ 6 twice. It just boots. You don't need to open the launcher anymore for the latest update. I announced that Civ 7 will not use this feature. No word yet on, like, XCOM games, but I assume that they're probably going to start phasing out the launcher anyway. Oh, one last thing, unless you want to yell about Warframe some more, before we go play our Civ game. Speaking of soon releases, we have a date on Dragon Age Veilguard. Yes, I refuse to say V. It's October 31st, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you phrased it, I think, as, like, that seems soon, but then I remembered that Game Informer exploded.
Yeah.
Which, yes, in case you didn't know somehow, BioWare signed an exclusive press agreement with Game Informer to do all their press ops, and then they exploded? So
Thanks, GameStop.
I don't know how, like, good they're going to be with their marketing. But yeah, the game is apparently coming out relatively soon. So I guess we'll see how it is.
We will see how it is. I probably will not be getting it day one, though.
Oh, probably not myself. I'm still hoping they'll figure out a way to, like, rebundle all the previous Dragon Age games in much like Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I would appreciate that, guys.
Super much.
They got some notes in the trailers, though. A lot of people are thinking thoughts about the fact that in one of the trailers it looks like Morgan is wearing Flemeth's crown. That could be bad, or that could be nothing. She could have just found it on the ground. Morgan likes shiny things.
Who knows? It also depends on what the hell actually happened to Morgan.
Yeah, that's also a variable. This is also another thing that's just, like, I don't know whether or not this is just the art style or what, but, like, they tried to make her look a little older, but over the, like, 10 or 15 year process from DAO to Dragon Age Inquisition, Morgan didn't really age that much. She's, other than the fact that the art style of every game has changed a little bit, Morgan's mostly looked the same. And not that I think she's supposed to be that old in DAO. It's hard to tell with Claudia Black as her VA, but
Claudia Black.
no, doing excellent work. Y'all know we love angry witchy women here.
We do.
Even though they complain about everything. It's okay. Like I said, Morgan likes shiny things. Morgan gets mad I don't recruit werewolves. Here, take this mirror. But yes, that's another one that's kind of interesting. And yeah, I agree that I'm probably not picking it up day one. But I will be interested in it. Because, I've played all the previous Dragon Age games.
It's the same thing. I'm trying to be a little bit more discerning in games. Like, although I am interested in Wukong Black Myth, also probably not picking that up. I do believe that comes out in like 4 days, though.
Yeah, it's pretty soon around the corner. I haven't actually seen any like preview scores, but I have seen some people kind of discussing it about like they're not sure about picking it up yet. So I don't know what the press tour is. It is when I assume when embargoes lift, we might get some more intel, see what's up. But yeah, Video James.
Video James.
Let me get the edit on this cooking, and let's go pump up some Civ.
Alrighty.
Which is also a thing I can do because I can edit the audio on one PC tower and run Civ 6 on the other PC tower, which is what I will be doing. So let's get out of here. Let me do the outro. Outro goes a little something like this. If you're watching this video on YouTube, give it a like. I am not asking. I am ordering. You will like this video. You will click subscribe. You will ring the bell. It's important. Do it. You can also leave your comments down below. You can also join us on our Discord server. It's a great place to go if you want to yell about Monster Hunter weapons or other things. Join our Discord. Link in the description on our channel page. If you're already subbed and rung that bell and all that other fun stuff, consider supporting our channel memberships for access to membership badges and emotes, and to do funny haha message shoutouts when we're doing streams, because we're streaming. We're doing that. And also, like I said at the start of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon to get access to episodes early in audio format for as little as $1 a month, or approximately $10 a year. At higher levels, you can get access to topic polls and other stuff. Get access to video releases early. It'll still be a little bit before I do a Wanted, but those usually come out early. And other stuff. At higher levels, you can listen to us record the show live every week and get all our shoutouts and stuff. And of course, it really helps support us. It keeps us fed. It allows Lucky to eat 10 street tacos.
I like street
Please
tacos.
support us on Patreon. Think of the tacos.
Tacos.
But that's all I got today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And we'll see you next time. Also join us Monday for more Mega Man X4.
Whoa.
Goodbye.